So when you think about everything I've shared related to diversity, the end result, the means, and we've talked a bit about inclusion, what do you think is going to look different? What's the mindset shift? Every time we go from working on diversity to working on inclusion, this is the mental shift I see us taking. From avoiding risks and keeping track of differences, inclusion is about moving to a mental shift of building capability. Your job becomes, instead of inviting in that diversity, it becomes asking people to dance. How do you ask people to dance? So again, it's this two-way thing. You need to be able to say, I hear you, I hear you've got an alternative perspective. And you also need to consider that alternative perspective. How can that help me grow my lens? How can that help our group? How can that help our community? We've started training around our neurological processes that actually lead to exclusion and discrimination. That's where our unconscious bias types of training start to play in. Again, this is great, having more self-awareness so we can stop ourselves from acting on our biases, extremely helpful. But is there more we can do? I think so, because I still see a huge challenge with this approach. The real problem I see is that it's extremely difficult to train the worst of human nature out. When we have biases, it's because of our reptilian brains. When you look back at the research, what's going on is humans are a very tribal species. And when you see someone that doesn't look like you, it raises a little red flag because that affects your survival. So did you all know that taking on human nature was a part of your job description? Was that something you negotiated in your salary? Hey, it's never too late. It's never too late. You can always go back. So when I think about inclusion, it's important to consider the power of a strengths-based approach because inclusion is a very positive feeling. We're trying to get to something extremely positive. But as we're trying to get there, right now, we've got kind of this negative approach. Now, when someone approaches someone who's different, they might be thinking, oh, geez, I know I've got these unconscious biases. I don't want to say anything that's going to offend them. I don't want to, I know that they might be sensitive to this, and I'm not sure, maybe like my natural, I don't want to act on that. It's a deep breath. It's okay. Do it. I believe that we all know how to include. We do it. In every act of inclusion, there's an act of exclusion going on. So what if we tapped on our strengths, our power of inclusion we already have? What might that look like?